the secret portal that defines your destiny, the ancestral wisdom that spiritual masters didn't want you to forget. Did you know there exists a point in your body that ancient masters considered more powerful than your heart and brain combined? An energetic portal that could be draining your life force at this very moment without you knowing it. Sages from all civilizations protected it as if it were a sacred treasure, but in the modern world, we have completely forgotten about it. In the next few minutes, you will discover why this hidden center could be the reason behind your unexplained fatigue, your confused decisions, and that feeling that life simply doesn't flow as it should. Get ready, because what you're about to discover will change the way you see your own body forever. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself what is truly the most enigmatic part of your being? I'm not referring to the obvious. I'm not talking about the heart that beats ceaselessly, nourishing every cell of your existence, nor the eyes that allow you to contemplate the beauty of the world, nor even the brain that stores your most precious memories and makes thousands of decisions every day. I'm talking about something much deeper, something that ancient civilizations understood perfectly, but that our modern society has relegated to oblivion. A place that holds secrets that no textbook ever revealed to you, that no biology class ever mentioned, but that spiritual masters like Paramahansa Yogananda pointed to as one of the fundamental keys to our destiny. That place exists right at the center of your being, silent, almost forgotten, and yet guiding you in ways you never imagined possible. That sacred place is your navel. I know it may sound strange at first. We live in an age where everything must have an immediate scientific explanation, where the subtle is dismissed as superstition, and where we have lost the connection with the millennial wisdom that sustained humanity for thousands of years. But before you dismiss this idea, let me show you something fascinating. At first glance, the navel appears to be simply a small mark on your abdomen, a physical reminder of your birth, a scar that remained after cutting the umbilical cord that connected you to your mother. In our modern era, we rarely pay attention to it. We see it as something merely decorative or, at best, as an anatomical peculiarity without much importance. However, ancient civilizations had a completely different vision. For them, the navel was not simply a physical mark, but a living doorway of energy, a dimensional portal where the life force of the universe first entered your body when you were merely an embryo in your mother's womb. More importantly, they firmly believed that through that same portal your personal energy could escape if you didn't protect it adequately, leaving you vulnerable, weak, and adrift in the ocean of existence. Yogananda, that great master of spirituality who dedicated his life to building bridges between Eastern wisdom and Western mentality, spoke frequently about how our bodies are not merely structures of flesh and bone. According to his profound teachings, we are subtle instruments of divine energy, cosmic antennas designed to capture and transmit the frequencies of the universe itself. And within this sacred instrument that is your body, the navel represents one of the most vital keys, one of the most important power points we possess. Think for a moment about the immense ocean that covers most of our planet. On the surface, waves constantly stir, driven by changing winds, furious storms, and surface currents. The ocean seems restless, unpredictable, in constant chaotic movement. But if you could descend toward the depths, you would discover something completely different. Down there, in the heart of the ocean, there exists a profound stillness, an almost absolute silence, a calm that remains undisturbed no matter what storm rages on the surface. Your body works exactly the same way. On the surface are your thoughts that jump from one topic to another like restless monkeys, your emotions that change with every external stimulus, your actions that respond to the demands of the external world. But at your deepest center, right around your navel, there exists a silent power point, a serene depth that sustains everything else. The Manipura Chakra. The ancestral yogic traditions of India identified this center with spiritual scientific precision more than 5,000 years ago. They called it Manipura Chakra, which literally means the city of jewels, or the city of fire. Imagine it as a radiant sun located in your abdomen, a brilliant point of willpower, unwavering confidence, and mental clarity that resides precisely around the navel. Yogananda dedicated many of his teachings to explaining that this fiery center governs fundamental aspects of our existence. It controls the strength of our decisions, determining whether we act with determination or constantly hesitate. It influences the clarity of our thoughts, defining whether we see the world with lucidity or through a veil of confusion. It even determines our courage to follow the spiritual path, that narrow path that few dare to walk to the end. When this center of fire is strong, vibrant, and balanced, life feels aligned in an almost magical way. Everything has a clear purpose, every day has meaning, and we walk with a luminous sense of being exactly where we should be, doing exactly what we should do. But when this center is weak, blocked, or disturbed, something completely opposite happens. Confusion settles in like a dense fog we cannot dispel. Fatigue haunts us even after sleeping 8 hours. Bad luck seems to lurk around every corner. And most disturbing of all, we begin to feel that our destiny is controlling us instead of us controlling our destiny. The universal convergence. What is truly fascinating, what should make us pause and reflect seriously, is that it's not just the yogic traditions of India that identified the navel as a crucial power center. Cultures as different and distant from each other as the Taoist masters of the mountains of China, the samurai and martial artists of ancient Japan, the wise priests of the Mayan civilization in Mesoamerica, and even the mystics of Christian and Jewish traditions, all pointed to the navel as a gateway to human destiny. In Taoism, this center was known as the dantian, which translates as cinnabar field or elixir field. Taoist masters considered it the primary repository of vital energy, the place where qi or life force is stored. They firmly believed that when a person cultivated and strengthened their dantian through specific practices, they could obtain extraordinary longevity, unshakable inner peace, and a strength that went beyond the merely physical. The Japanese called it hara, and this word came to represent much more than a simple anatomical point. For samurai warriors, having a strong hara meant being unshakable in the face of any adversity. They believed that if a warrior's center was firmly established, no external force could knock them down, no enemy could intimidate them, no circumstance could make them waver. Hara was synonymous with presence, with being completely centered in the present moment with your entire being. The Mayans, that astonishing civilization that calculated cosmic cycles with astronomical precision, spoke of the navel as the axis mundi, the center of the cosmos, the precise meeting point between heaven and earth, between the divine and the earthly, between the spiritual and material worlds. And even in the mystical writings of Christianity and Judaism, we find surprising references to the navel. Kabbalists called it the knot of God, a symbol of the eternal bond that nourishes the soul before physical birth and continues to sustain it after the body dies. They saw in the navel the physical proof of our connection to the divine. The crucial question. Now, let me ask you a question you must consider carefully. Is it possible that so many ancient traditions, separated by oceans, mountains, and thousands of years, were all wrong? Or is it much more likely that all of them, from their different cultural and philosophical perspectives, glimpse the same hidden truth about this small point on your body? Yogananda constantly insisted on reminding his students that the wisdom of the ancients was not childish superstition or primitive magical thinking, but science of the spirit, empirical knowledge obtained through centuries of inner observation, conscious experimentation, and dedicated practice. And he warned us that when we ignore these subtle truths, when we dismiss them as irrelevant to our modern life, we lose contact with powers that are our birthright, innate capacities that we all possess but have forgotten how to use. The support of modern science. Curiously, modern science is beginning to catch up with what the ancients already knew. In the depths of your abdomen exists what neuroscientists have called the enteric nervous system, often called the second brain due to its complexity and autonomy. This system consists of an intricate network of approximately 100 million neurons that line your entire gastrointestinal tract. What's astonishing is that this nervous system reacts to emotions even before your conscious brain does. It detects danger before your logical mind processes it. It senses the truth of a situation before you can articulate it in words. And this enteric nervous system is centered precisely near the navel, demonstrating that our gut feelings or Hunches are not imagination or coincidence, but real signals from destiny transmitting through channels we are only beginning to understand scientifically. Think of the times you've felt butterflies in your stomach just before something important was about to happen. Or that sinking feeling in your abdomen when danger was near, even if your conscious mind hadn't yet identified the threat. Or that visceral instinct that tells you whether you can trust someone or not, long before you have logical evidence. Those signals don't come from your logical brain located in your skull. They come from the silent compass that resides around your navel, that center of intuitive wisdom that the ancients venerated and protected with such care. The metaphor of the lamp. To better understand how this energetic center works, imagine that your life is a beautiful lamp filled with brilliant light. This lamp represents your vitality, your mental clarity, your emotional strength, everything that makes you feel alive and capable. But now imagine that at the base of that lamp there exists a small opening, an imperceptible crack through which the light can escape. At first, you don't notice anything. The lamp continues to shine brightly. But day after day, week after week, that light slowly filters through the opening. Gradually, almost imperceptibly, the flame weakens. The light that was once radiant is now dim. And eventually, if that opening is not repaired, the lamp can go out completely. The navel works exactly like this. It's an energetic opening, a dimensional door in your energy field. If left unprotected, without conscious care, your inner strength silently filters out, leaving you tired for no apparent reason, indecisive when you should be certain, and disconnected from your true purpose when you most need direction. Yogananda spoke frequently about the crucial importance of conserving vital energy because every significant achievement, whether spiritual or mundane, is built on the foundation of strong inner power. Success doesn't come from working more hours or trying harder, but from having enough concentrated energy to manifest your intentions. If this message is resonating with you, if you feel that finally someone is speaking about the deep truths you've intuited but didn't know how to express, then I invite you to be part of our community at Divine Karma Path. Here we share ancestral wisdom like this every week, exploring the mysteries of the inner being and discovering practices that truly transform lives. Don't miss the next secrets we will reveal. Subscribe now and activate the bell so you don't miss any video that could change your destiny. The signs of imbalance. When the navel center is strengthened, respected, and nurtured, energy accumulates like fire in a furnace, creating a radiant heat that illuminates your path and gives you clarity for every step. But when it's neglected, when it's ignored or left vulnerable, that fire gradually goes out, and life begins to feel uncertain, directionless, like a ship adrift in the ocean without compass or map. Have you ever experienced moments when making decisions seemed completely impossible? Moments when no direction felt right, as if all options were equally gray and unappealing? Periods where fatigue followed you like a shadow even after resting adequately? Or that persistent feeling that your life is drifting without real meaning or clear purpose? These are not simply accidents of fate or random moods that appear out of nowhere. They can be clear signs that the energy in your center has weakened or become imbalanced. Yogananda constantly explained that our external struggles are always reflections of internal imbalances. To change the script of our destiny, we must first awaken the internal centers of energy, especially this primordial navel center, the karmic memory bank. The navel is not just a reservoir of vital energy, but also an invisible memory bank, a hidden archive that stores impressions of your deepest habits, ingrained emotional patterns, and karmic tendencies accumulated throughout this life and possibly past lives. Sometimes you react in ways that even you cannot explain. You repeat the same mistakes over and over, even when you consciously promise not to commit them again. You fall into destructive patterns you believed you had definitively overcome. According to Yogananda and other enlightened sages, this happens because the memory stored in the energy field around your navel remains active, unconsciously guiding you from the shadows of your psyche. By consciously awakening this center, you not only conserve your vital energy, but also begin to cleanse the heavy patterns that have been weighing down your life like invisible anchors. It's like rewriting the source code of your destiny from within, reprogramming your existential operating system at a fundamental level. Modern energetic vulnerability. Consider for a moment how fragile our energy is in the modern world. We live in an age of constant overstimulation, surrounded by chronic stress, infinite distractions, and the dense emotions of millions of people transmitted through screens and shared spaces. If your navel energy is left open and unprotected, you become a door without a lock through which external influences can freely enter. Other people's fears can infiltrate your energy field. Someone else's anger can stick to you without you even noticing. The expectations and judgments of others can shape your behavior in ways that contradict your true nature. Yogananda frequently warned that the environment plays a tremendously powerful role in shaping consciousness, and if you don't protect your inner center, you'll be molded by forces completely outside your control. Protecting the navel is like putting a password on your most valuable device, ensuring that only what you consciously choose can enter your energy field. The ancestral restoration practices. The extraordinary good news is that the same ancient traditions that identified this problem also provided us with the keys to restore balance. They offered us simple but profoundly transformative practices that any person can adopt, regardless of their religious background, level of spiritual experience, or life circumstances. Yogananda encouraged establishing daily routines that bring attention inward, because it's not grandiose rituals or elaborate ceremonies that transform a life, but constant awareness and dedicated practice day after day. The morning affirmation of the center. Imagine starting your morning not with the stress of checking messages or worrying about your to-do list, but by placing your hand gently on your navel, breathing deeply 3 times, and affirming your connection with your inner strength. You could say silently, "I accept my power. I honor my direction. My center is strong and clear." This simple act, which takes less than a minute, calls your energy back from where it had dispersed during sleep or in previous days, and firmly anchors it in your center before facing the world. Physical protection. Imagine covering your navel with a piece of soft cloth, perhaps a thin sash or a cotton band, before entering crowded places or stressful situations. This act creates a subtle energy shield, a protective barrier that the ancients knew well. It's not superstition, but a deep understanding that energy responds to intention, and the physical act of covering your center sends a powerful signal to your subconscious. My energy belongs to me. I am protected. The sacred oil massage. Every night, before sleeping, place a drop of warm oil on your navel. It can be mustard oil, coconut oil, or a calming essential oil like lavender or sandalwood. Massage gently in circular movements for 2 or 3 minutes. You're not simply touching the skin, but sending a deep signal to the hidden circuits of your body, reminding your system to balance, to heal, to gather strength. Many people who practice this notice that sleep becomes deeper, dreams more meaningful, and emotions find a natural, tranquil balance. The Golden Sun Meditation. Sit comfortably in a quiet place. Close your eyes gently. Visualize a golden sun shining in your center, right at your navel. With each inhalation, imagine this sun growing brighter and larger. With each exhalation, feel its warmth radiating through your entire body. See its rays pushing confusion outward. Observe how it dissolves the doubts that have been paralyzing you. Feel its strength rising through your being, giving you the courage to live with authentic purpose. Yogananda compared meditation to polishing a lamp until it shines with all its splendor, and when you meditate on the navel, you are polishing the lamp located at the very center of your destiny. The gradual transformation. These practices may seem small, almost insignificant compared to the magnitude of the problems you face. But here's the secret that the masters knew: great transformations always begin with small, consistent changes. Over time, you'll begin to notice that your confidence strengthens naturally. Your decisions become sharper and clearer. Your life starts to move with a new and powerful momentum. You begin to see that destiny is not a weight crushing you from above, but a current flowing from within you. The more balanced your center is, the smoother and stronger that current becomes. Your relationships improve because you no longer extract energy from others or allow them to extract yours. You meet people in a space of fullness rather than need, and that completely changes the dynamics of love, friendship, and collaboration. Your creativity ignites because the internal fire fuels inspiration. Ideas flow more freely, projects take shape with less resistance, and expression feels natural instead of forced. Your health improves because when energy is retained in the center, digestion is optimized, immunity is strengthened, and vitality increases measurably. The spiritual awakening. Perhaps the most profound change occurs in your spiritual journey. The navel center, when fully awakened, acts as a bridge between survival and transcendence. It elevates you beyond fear of basic needs and opens you to the search for higher truths. Many seekers struggle with meditation because their energy is unstable in the center. Thoughts scatter like leaves in the wind, restlessness dominates every attempt at stillness, and peace seems unattainable no matter how much they try. But when the navel burns steadily like a well-tended lamp, meditation deepens naturally and organically. The mind finds its anchor, the soul finds its home, and the connection with the divine becomes not only possible, but inevitable. Yogananda compared the soul's journey to a rocket trying to reach the stars. Without strong fuel at the base, the rocket cannot rise. The navel is that fuel, that launching platform from which your consciousness can ascend to higher realms of existence. The awakened intuition. As you continue strengthening this sacred center, you discover something wonderful. Clarity doesn't come from overthinking or analyzing every detail to exhaustion, but from inner alignment, from being centered in your power. Decisions that once seemed impossibly complex now become obvious. Paths that previously looked confusing and tangled now appear straight and clear. You begin to live not by guesswork or trial and error, but by genuine inner guidance. Yogananda explained that when the inner compass is properly aligned, intuition awakens from its lethargy. And intuition is not fantasy or magical thinking. It is the direct whisper of the soul, the voice of your higher self communicating with you. When your navel energy is firm and stable, you can hear that whisper with perfect clarity, distinguishing it from mental noise and external influences that normally drown it out. The meaning of destiny. Think about the countless choices you face every day, large and small. Each choice shapes the river of your destiny. If you choose from confusion, the river divides into many weak tributaries that stagnate. If you choose from the clarity of the center, the river flows straight and strong toward its natural destiny. This is the practical meaning of awakening the navel. It's not abstract mysticism or ethereal philosophy disconnected from real life. It's the tangible difference between a life scattered in 1,000 different directions going nowhere and a life that moves with determined purpose toward real fulfillment. This is the hidden teaching behind so many ancient symbols we find in temples, manuscripts, and sacred works of art. The spiral, the solar disk, the wheel of Dharma, all point to the inner central fire. Yogananda urged his disciples to see beyond the symbols to their living truth. And the living truth here is luminous and powerful. Your destiny is not written in the distant stars above you, but in the fire that burns in your center. When you honor that fire, when you feed it with conscious practice and protect it from the forces that would try to extinguish it, the stars themselves seem to rearrange in your favor, and what seemed like impossible coincidences become normal synchronicities. So now the crucial question remains floating in the air between us. Are you ready to live with this awareness? Are you prepared to protect your energy as the invaluable treasure it truly is? Will you commit to awakening your center and allowing your destiny to unfold from within instead of being dictated from without? The journey begins with a single conscious breath, with a single act of remembering that the power you have been seeking in 1,000 external places already resides within you, patiently awaiting your attention. Each day you choose awareness over autopilot, the flame of your navel grows brighter and more stable. And each day that flame burns more strongly, your path becomes clearer, your steps more certain, and your destiny more aligned with your deepest truth. If this message has awakened something within you, if you feel that an ancient truth has been remembered in the deepest part of your being, share your reflections in the comments. Your voice matters because when we speak of internal truths, We create a collective fire that illuminates the path for everyone. And if you felt that this journey resonated with you, remember to support Divine Karma Path by liking this video and subscribing to the channel, because there are many more mysteries of the inner world waiting to be explored together. Each secret we share, each practice we discover, each truth we reveal, brings us one step closer to mastering our destiny. Now I ask you directly, do you feel prepared to take the next step? Are you ready to transform this knowledge into daily practice? Will you allow the wisdom of Yogananda and the ancient masters to illuminate your path as you walk your own unique path toward the destiny you deserve? The power is in your hands. The portal is in your center. And the moment to awaken is now.